Hello, my name is Ilona and it's Monday, December 5th, 2022. Here in the Netherlands, we have the tradition that today is the birthday, so to speak, of Sinterklaas. And this is, I think, a former bishop, so he looks like a bishop. And he originally, if I'm not mistaken, comes from Turkey, or at least they used someone, a bishop from Turkey, to for the role of Sinterklaas. And this is now someone who comes from Spain, and he has helpers named Black Peter. And there's been a controversy about Black Peter and where this originally comes from. So a lot of things happening here in the Netherlands. But we also have someone that comes with Christmas time that other people, of course, call Santa Claus. We call Kerstman in Dutch, which literally means Christmas man. So we have Sinterklaas and Christmas man. So very interesting for the month of December. Both bring gifts for children, and if you're not being very nice, then Sinterklaas will take you in a bag to Spain back. And apparently, the Christmas man, or Santa Claus, as the rest of the world calls him, will take you to the North Pole, if I'm not mistaken. So that's there are similarities, but there are some differences, and it's very Dutch. If I'm not mistaken, a part of the Belgium, I think the Flemish part may still have Sinterklaas as well. I'm not sure about that, so let me know. But at least it's a very Dutch tradition. So everyone that is celebrating tonight, a wonderful evening, and of course past weekend, I'm sure there were people celebrating this as well. I also mentioned that I just had this strangest dreams, two very vivid dreams last night. I woke up at 2 o'clock. That was like the first dream, and I was completely wide awake with a very awful feeling in my stomach. It was just like the dream was quite intense, and it was very vivid. It was almost like I was somewhere else, and I didn't recognize anything from this lifetime. So it felt to me like I was in some parallel lifetime. And it didn't turn out really well for me in that lifetime, but I was in a city I have no idea, I've never seen in my life, and the entire situation was completely unknown, but it was very strange to experience. Now, I managed to fall asleep after a few hours. But again, I had a very vivid dream, and it was very different from the other dream. But still, I didn't recognize anyone in there, no one I met in my dreams or where I was. But it was just so intense. So it's like I haven't woken up yet. I can still go back to that. And I have a feeling that I was just experiencing parallel lives or different lives, just how you want to call them. And I think that is also part of being multidimensional, that we are starting to maybe see things or experience things from different lifetimes, different parallel lives, things like that. So I just thought that was very interesting, and I'm still very connected sorry, to those dreams. It's almost like I can just go back there. So I just had a tough time waking up this morning. It's just a very strange feeling, like I'm a little bit off or something, but I really wanted to do this video. There were some subjects I really wanted to take a look at, so bear with me, please. The first subject I was looking at was all these emergency kits in the Netherlands. We had now on the media, the mainstream media, that we had to watch out for a blackout. We had to be prepared. We should have like this emergency kit with like a flashlight and things like that. We have it in other countries here in Europe. Very interesting. What is the energy exactly around all these emergency things and that we need to have for blackouts? I just wanted to take a look at the energy. And the first card I got was the Ace of Wands. I got two central cards, so to speak, the Three of Wands and the Two of Cups. In the past, I have the Six of Wands. Underneath the central card, I have the Two of Wands. And for the near future, I have the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So to me, this feels like the white hats are behind it. And I'm sure the dark energies are trying to go over the top to create fear. That's what they enjoy doing. So they're going to use it to create fear, get people in this fearful energy. And I had the feeling when I was looking at it in the Dutch video, and I shuffled everything in my Dutch video, the cards, that in a way the whiteheads are using the people's fear as well to prepare them. This is about preparing them. Things can happen, although I have a feeling that it will depend on the area you are in. So we will have to wait and see. Sorry about that. Most truthers are prepared for this. They have, of course, food, water, batteries, things that are necessary just in case of a blackout. But this is about preparing people, making sure that they know it can happen, and also people that usually are not seeing things like that. This is brought in the mainstream media. So this is about, in a way, showing people so they'll start doing a lot of things. You know, a lot of people react from fear. The dark energies have been pushing fear, of course. It's their favorite energy they like to feed on. So a lot of people got the stings out of fear, thinking they were doing it for someone else, but also to protect themselves and protect their loved ones. So in a way, I think the whiteheads are also using this fear, like this could happen and then you don't have anything, and then you don't have any food, any water, you need to be prepared. Using this so that people will start, you know, preparing themselves, even the people that are not, you know, aware of what's truly going on in the world. They now see that things like this can happen, and I have heard from people that they are now preparing, getting some water in the house just to make sure that they have some pet food, things like that. So it is in a way working. It's getting people prepared. I do believe that if things happen, you know, if the military will step up and we will have like a blackout, or that we have to remain in our houses, things like that can happen, and it completely depends on the area. I'm sure that if there's not much going on in your area, you're not going to have that immense effect. But I do believe that if there are people that don't have anything or are not prepared, that I'm sure the military will have things they can share and they can distribute. But this is interesting. So this has to do with the whiteheads. I do believe that they are the ones preparing people. And of course the dark energies try to use it to scare people, obviously. But in a way, I think the whiteheads are using this fear, this basic fear of not being prepared, not having enough, that in a way they use it so people will make sure that they have enough water, that they have enough food. So in a way they use it in this case to help people instead of use it against them. It's unfortunate that a lot of people are still living in this very root energy. I still notice it myself, that sometimes I can really be pushed back in that fear that there isn't enough or that I'm not safe enough. I was brought up in a very unsafe house or home. So that really is my basic fear. I've been working through this obviously, but still it pops up once in a while. So I fully understand that there are a lot of people really just living from that fear, especially with the dark energies. They've been messing around with our energy and how we live and how we see things. So they really made it feel like life is tough and it's going to be horrible and you need to be prepared and you need to do this and you need to do that. So they really feed off this energy that anything can happen. So this is the card reading for the emergency kits and all these things now in the media about we need to be prepared for a blackout, we need to have things in the house. That's interesting. Let me see, there were two cards that also popped up in my second reading. And someone asked me, I was looking at the energy of the farmers last week, and someone asked me, well, how about the, how do you say this? I don't even know the correct word in English actually, but in the Dutch, it's more of the people that have their own shops, that are their own person. So they have their shops, they could be selling fish, flowers, people like that. What about them? What's going to happen with them that have their own shops? They've got it very, very tough right now with all the energy prices. Of course, everything is just mounting up, and a lot of them actually had support during what happened the past 2.5 years. They have to pay that back. They have debts. What is going on with the energy of this group of people that really been working so hard and just see what they've built up with blood, sweat and tears just broken down, First card I got was the Five of Pentacles. The central card is the Knight of Cups. This is the Knight of Swords in the past. We have Judgment underneath the central card. And we have the Queen of Wands again. We have, oh, that's interesting. I should have showed this one first. We have the Pentacles 4. And I pulled an extra card to clarify, and that's the Two of Cups. These two cards actually were in the other card reading as well. So apparently there's similar energy there. I find that very interesting because I really shuffle thoroughly my cards and I end up with similar cards in like the same video. Very interesting what's going on in the energy, but there is a lot happening. A lot are at their end, at their wits' end. I think that's the correct term. They really don't know how to make it anymore. They don't know what to do. They go bankrupt. They're falling apart. So there's a lot going on. And obviously that was part of the dark agenda. They wanted to get rid of people that make their own money, that are... right now I cannot come up with it. It's probably because I haven't really slept very well past night. So sorry about that. But those are the people that have shops, that just do their own thing, are their own bosses. And this is a chance to change that. And this may seem like very different, but I do want to emphasize, and I've mentioned this in the Dutch video as well, this is about understanding who we truly are. We are spiritual beings having a physical body. A lot of us are, they use this against us. A lot of dark energies told us we're nothing but bodies. You have to work hard. You're not going to just get money. It's just going to get tough. You have to push through it. They really programmed us for that. I was programmed that way. My family and my generations before me were programmed that way. So it's very important for people that work for themselves to step out of it and understanding that ultimately they can create what they want. And this may really sound very spiritual and very vague and like, sure, but I have no food on the table. I cannot get food for my children. I cannot afford this, my shop anymore. I cannot afford these prices anymore. I fully understand. But this has to do with your own way of thinking and really this fear, this basic fear a lot of people have that there is not enough. A lot of us were programmed with this feeling there's never enough money, there's never enough, and you have to work so hard and then probably you're not going to last anyway. If you can change that, this is an opportunity to change that energy. If you can change that energy, you can really heal. That's what this ultimately is about as well. Of course, the white hats are working towards just destroying, in a way, the corrupt systems. Because obviously, when you are a shop owner or just an owner of your own, there are so many rules and they have all these things you need to pay, and it's a corrupt system, and all those debts they created themselves with, of course, what's been happening in the past 2.5 years with the support, and now you have to pay that back. They really try to destroy you, and the white hats are ready to really take away that system, break that system down. But right now it will look disastrous. It's going to look like everything is falling apart. So it's very important to heal all these old wounds concerning there's not enough, there's not enough money. There is. We are very abundant creators. We can create what we want, but we have to change our mindset for that. We have to heal ourselves. If we can heal our energies that we have towards feeling that there's not enough, not feeling safe enough, that we have to hold on to things or hold on to our money. It also has to do with putting up boundaries. I do believe, especially for people that own, self-employed people. That's the word I was looking for. Self-employed people, that they stand their ground and really don't move along with everything the dark energy just throws at them. But this is about healing that energy. And it's not just for self-employed people, but just in general. There are so many people with these convictions that life is tough. It's not going to get out of it. We're not going to get out of this. We're poor, and we were born poor. We'll remain poor. These are all programming, and we can step out of that. We can step out of that. So for these people, especially the self-employed people, very important to step out of that. In a way, wake up, change the energy. That's so important. And really start trusting the energy. The stronger you become, the more you will attract money, possibilities, changes to do other things. And maybe it is time to move on from certain situations, certain things you're working with, and change direction. It's a possibility, but do it because you feel like that's the right thing to do. Do it because there's a connection with your intuition. Don't do it because of outside forces. As long as you keep blaming things outside of yourself, well, it's because of the government, it's what they're doing, I know that they are working against you. That is true. But as long as you're looking outside of yourself and blaming everything outside of yourself, you're not going to step into your power, and you're not going to change that. You'll be giving away your power to people outside of yourself, to organizations outside of yourself. And this Great Awakening, the Judgment card, is a very, very suitable as the Great Awakening card. If you can just see, people are rising up, waking up. You can change that. And by changing the energy, we are also breaking the corrupt system, because then we are stepping outside of the system and we'll be able to change things. Very, very important. So I'd like to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.